What's going on, everybody? Claudio Zavala Jr. here. Thanks so much for stopping by. If this is your first time, I appreciate you coming by and checking it out. If you are a returning visitor, thank you so much for stopping by once again. How many of you enjoy photography? I've enjoyed photography for many years now, from the Polaroid days to the little point and shoot film cameras, as well as GoPros to take pictures, as well as the camera that I'm using to record this video. I use it as well for photography. In addition to that, I've been using my mobile phone to take pictures. Chances are you are probably watching this video on your very own mobile device. A while back I shared some videos on different mobile photography tips. Today I'm going to share some new tips that will hopefully help you take better shots with your mobile phone. So let's go ahead and kick things off. The first tip I'm going to share with you is don't use zoom. Depending on what mobile device you have, you will most likely have 2 times optical lens and maybe 10 times digital zoom. The difference between the two is optical is using magnification that is built into the lens, and digital zoom is using software and algorithms to zoom into your subject. What you'll do is zoom in by pinching into your subject, kind of zooming in by doing this motion on your camera. The problem with that is you are in essence cropping your image, which causes a notable loss in quality of your photo. The best option is to use those built-in optical lenses. In most cases, it's a wide angle lens or a normal lens, and you may have a telephoto lens, meaning it gets you closer like a telescope. Instead of using digital zoom, what you'll want to do is get a little closer. If it's an object here, you want to get as close as you can to get a better, sharper image. If it's a subject that is further away, you want to get as close as you can to get a better shot. Obviously, if there's obstacles in the way, you don't want to get hurt, crossing a street or something like that. But as much as you can, get closer by walking closer. So that's my first tip, is try to avoid using digital zoom. Another tip to help you improve your photos is to avoid distractions. So what do I mean by distractions? One thing is try to avoid having a cluttered background. For example, if your subject is in the center of the photo and you have a lot of stuff in the background, well, whoever's looking at your picture may not know where is the focal point. So what can you do to help with those distractions? One example is to get low to the ground and take a photo shooting up towards the sky and have your subject being the focal point and having a very clear background so that you know that's the focus of your photo. So if you don't have a sky for a background, use a solid wall, something that's consistent in color or pattern, something that will have everyone's attention drawn to your subject. If you end up taking a photo that has a lot of colors in the background, or very distracting, what you could do is convert that photo into black and white. That'll help draw everyone's attention to your focal point. A tip to help you explore the creative world of photography with your mobile phone is to use mirrors, glasses, puddles of water, shiny surfaces, anything smooth that will give off a reflection. A way to do this is to take a photo, but instead of aiming the camera, or I should say phone, to the subject directly, what you could do is aim it towards a glass or reflective surfaces like a puddle and take a picture that way. So basically what you're doing is taking kind of a negative of your image. I think that's a really cool way to be creative in taking photos. The next tip I'm going to share with you is about setting the focus in your camera. A lot of times we'll take pictures with our phones, and later on we're looking at those pictures, we're back home and realize, oh my gosh, it's not sharp, it's blurry. Everything else is super sharp except what I want it to be sharp. The reason that happens is your mobile phone, I should say the camera on your phone, is trying to dig around and wonder what should be in focus, what should be sharp. I mean, if you're holding it at a certain point, for the most part, it will kind of maintain sharpness at that one point, but a lot of times it'll start to dig around and not know where to be sharp. A way to fix this is to set your focus on your camera, is to lock it up. Depending on your device, It may vary how you lock the focus. I'm going to be using my iPhone to show you how to do this. And again, it'll vary depending on your camera. So I'm going to place the subject or object that I want to be in focus or that I want to be sharp. And I'll go ahead and tap on the screen in that area that I want to be sharp. Then what I'll do is I'll tap and hold that spot until I see the autofocus or the focus lock set up. So now I don't have to worry about the camera trying to refocus itself. It's going to be focused at that one point. Now the last tip I'm going to share with you is kind of the opposite of what we just did. Instead of being sharp, we're actually going to purposely blur the image. Now, why would I want to blur a photo? You may want to use it as a background for a web page. You might want to use it in some print media. Add your favorite quote on top of that blurred image. You can share it on social media. A lot of different ways to use those blurred images. Really cool effect. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to take my camera, and what I'm going to do is tap on the point that I want to be focused. Now here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to get close, like with my finger here, use my ring as the point of focus. Make sure that it is focused there, and I'll tap and hold. And now once it's locked up, what happens is everything else around it is going to be blurry. So everything right now that I'm pointing at is blurry. Unless I put my finger back at that spot, it'll be sharp. This will help make sure that everything that I shoot from about this distance and beyond to be blurry. A couple of ideas for shooting these blurred photos is head on outdoors. Kind of when it starts to get dusk, those headlights start to come out on the cars. From a certain distance, what you can do is get those headlights, and what will happen is they'll be blurred and almost kind of have a flared effect. Another idea is to head downtown where there are lots of lights, take a shot of the skyline, all blurry, which is really cool. You see those lights all kind of have a bokeh effect. So what do you think about these 5 tips? Please let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you like this video or learned something new, please give it 2 thumbs up by clicking on the like button, and let's connect if you would by clicking on the subscribe button here, and I'll share some other videos over here on the other side. And again, thank you for stopping by. Be good to one another. Peace. I'm out.